Today, we're talking about one of the most insane stories to come out of AI in a long time. It's about a project that honestly felt like the future, became this massive global hit, and then just spectacularly imploded. And the craziest part? This all happened in 7 days. Okay, let's get into it. First, just think about this for a second. What if you had a personal AI that wasn't just some chatbot stuck in a browser tab? I mean, a real digital assistant. You know, like Jarvis from the movies, that actually lives on your computer, can sort through your emails, book your flights, and genuinely get work done for you. Well, in January of 2026, this project called Clawbot just burst onto the scene, and it looked like it was going to be exactly that. This wasn't some far-off idea. It was actual code you could download and run right then and there. And people got excited. I mean, really excited. The growth was just off the charts. It literally became the fastest-growing project in history. But just as fast as it shot up, it all came crashing down into what security experts would later call a total dumpster fire. This is the story of that one single chaotic week. So let's start at the very beginning. How did this Jarvis even get started? And what was it about it that made everyone go so crazy? So the big idea behind Clawbot was pretty revolutionary. See, unlike ChatGPT or other AIs that run in the cloud, this was an agent that you ran on your own computer. This local-first design gave it hands, the ability to actually go into your files, use your command line, and connect to your apps like WhatsApp. It promised incredible power, but with privacy. And this wasn't just hype from a bunch of nerds online. We're talking about huge names in the tech world, like the investor David Sachs, who saw this and thought, this is it, this is the real thing, calling it a functional Jarvis. I mean, that's like the ultimate praise, and it just poured gasoline on the fire. To say the growth was explosive is, well, kind of an understatement. On GitHub, the project racked up 9,000 stars in just the first 24 hours. I mean, for perspective, a number like that is practically unheard of for a brand new open source project. It was so obvious that they had tapped into something big. But that was just day one. The momentum just kept building, and the project skyrocketed past 100,000 stars, all by the end of that first week. And this wasn't just clicks online. This was real-world demand. People were literally rushing out to buy dedicated computers. Mac Minis were reportedly selling out in San Francisco just so they could run their new AI assistant 24/7. But this rocket ship was unfortunately built with some pretty serious flaws. And right as the hype was hitting its absolute peak, the cracks started to show. So on January 27th, things got messy. At 10 in the morning, the AI company Anthropic sent a trademark notice about the name. Okay, so by 2 p.m., the creator quickly rebrands it to Moltbot. But in the 10-second window it took to swap the social media handles, scammers jumped in and hijacked the old accounts. And by 4 p.m., they were already pushing a fake crypto token to tens of thousands of followers. And look, this wasn't some tiny scam. These guys launched a fake Claude token on Solana. And because they had control of the project's official social media, they created this massive wave of FOMO, fear of missing out. The token's market cap hit a peak of $16 million before it all came crashing down, and a lot of followers lost a ton of money. So while the founder is dealing with this branding nightmare and crypto scammers, a much, much bigger problem was brewing under the surface. You see, cybersecurity researchers had started digging into the code, and what they found was, well, it was a total disaster. Dumpster fire, that was the actual phrase they used, and it wasn't just one or two little bugs. The entire project was basically built on some really outdated and just fundamentally flawed ideas about security. It's a perfect example of what can happen when you move way too fast. Okay, so flaw number one was a simple setup mistake that left over 1,000 users totally exposed online. I mean, anyone could access their control panel, read their private messages, and steal their secret API keys. The digital keys that give the bot all its power and just take it over completely. The second flaw, this one is even scarier. It's called prompt injection, or the double agent problem. So because the AI was designed to read your emails, an attacker could just hide a command inside a regular-looking email. When the AI read that email, it would see the command and think it was an instruction from you, and then it would just do it. Like, hey, steal this guy's private files and send them to me. And finally, the project stored everything, your API keys, your passwords, the AI's entire memory, in simple, unprotected text files. This basically turned every user into a goldmine for any common malware. If your computer got infected, a criminal could just instantly grab the keys to your entire digital life. So let's just recap the damage here, because it's a lot. You had a flaw that allowed a complete takeover of your machine. You had another that could turn your AI into a spy against you. And you had a third that basically gift-wrapped all your secrets for any hacker who came along. It was just the perfect storm of how not to do security. You'd think after a week that catastrophic, the project would just be dead and buried. But out of the ashes of that dumpster fire, a new effort started to rise up, one that was determined to fix these huge mistakes. So the project rebranded one last time to OpenClaw. And this time, it wasn't just a name change. It was a whole new philosophy. The original Clawbot was all about local first privacy, which basically assumed your computer was a safe little castle. OpenClaw switched to identity-first security, which assumes threats are everywhere. The key difference is it now asks who is trying to talk to the bot before it even thinks about what the bot is allowed to do. And this wasn't just talk. The new team put in real, concrete fixes. First, the owner now has to manually approve anyone who tries to message the AI. Second, there's a new doctor tool that helps you find and fix security problems automatically. And finally, the software now ships in what's called a hardened container. Think of it like a secure, locked box that limits how much damage an attacker could do if they somehow got in. So in the end, the project actually made it. It was definitely bruised, but it was still breathing. And now its story is kind of two things at once. It's a revolutionary blueprint for what a powerful personal AI can be, but it's also a huge cautionary tale about why you can never, ever put hype before security. And really, that leaves all of us with the biggest question in this new era of AI, the one this whole story is really about. We all want an AI that's powerful enough to actually help us in meaningful ways. But how do we build one that's also wise enough and secure enough that it can't be easily turned into a double agent and used against us? That's the puzzle we all have to figure out.